Hey guys, welcome back to the garden. I want to give you a quick tour of what's happening here in July. My favorite right now is the banana. I mean, just look how good it's looking. There's multiple trunks underneath, so hopefully we might actually get some fruit this year. We've got a ton of, the zinnias are coming up everywhere. These are just volunteers from last year's, and they're looking pretty good. I cut on them a ton this week. I cut several bouquets for a friend who was having a baptism for her son. So the fact that they come out so quickly and they replenish, these are a great cut and come again. We've got the pineapple that I just grew this from the top from a store. Bought a pineapple, cut the top off, planted it. It's going great. And we've got ginger coming up really well. We've got the cannas looking amazing. Let me bring you in a little closer. Look at the cannas. I mean, you can't be upset with this. They're so pretty. They've got new flowers coming out every day. So this is a whole nother little cluster that's getting ready to open. You can see there's a bunch of little flower spikes in here. This is gonna be a new cluster. This is gonna be a new cluster. This one's not, but there's so much on here and it's just really happy. We've got over here, we're working on cleaning out the patio, so we've got quite the mess in the middle. This is a white chocolate crepe myrtle. It's called white chocolate because when the tips come out, they're brown, and then they have white flowers. We've got, I have to watch my footing. We've got a fig. So this is a Texas everbearing. And I'm excited to hopefully get some figs this year, but it's getting it really stressed from the heat. So I've moved it so it'll get afternoon shade and morning sun. And I think it's gonna do better, but we're just gonna have to cross our fingers and hope. We've got an avocado, and it seems to be happy. It's putting on some new growth. So I think it's doing well. On the patio table, we've got some aloe veras, and then I can't remember what this one is called. I just gave him some new soil last night. He seemed very hungry. Some fiddle leaf figs. This one is purple and it opens and closes its leaves when with the day. Is it too dry? I think we'll give it a little water. We've got some fiddle leaf figs in here. This is a cucumber. Look at this. I mean, can you see? That's a beast. There's a cucumber. I'll show you where it came from. Let me show you. I'm going to show you that wall first. The bird bath has been super popular. It usually has a ton of birds in it in the morning and in the evening. This is by Lisbon Lemon, and it's doing pretty well. You can see it's got new growth. It's putting out some new growth, but we've had such extreme heat that it's also burning the tips. So we're gonna make some space on the patio on the little cover, and we'll get him so that he's in some partial shade in the afternoon. These are a bunch of perennials that my friends gifted me. I can't remember what they're called. This one has the hummingbirds happy. So we're gonna be getting these out in the next couple of days and in the ground. This is my improved Meyer lemon. It's doing pretty well. It's got new growth. It's pretty happy. There's been a few bugs that are coming around and sucking the sap out of it. So that's not been great, but I've been coming around and just hand picking them off. This is, has grass in. Grass is my biggest weed here. This is a passion fruit it's starting to put on new growth, which means it has established its roots, which means I should be able to put it out. I didn't want to put it out with this intense heat until it had some bigger roots established. In this raised bed behind me, I'm going to be planting some squash. This is probably my favorite combination right now. Let me show you. Just look at it. This is so pretty. I love this. This is called Creeping Jenny, And the brighter the sun it's in, the brighter, the more chartreuse the green. And if it's in more shaded areas, then the greens are a bit darker. This is again that white chocolate crepe myrtle. I have 3 pots with this exact same combination dotted throughout the garden, and I just love it. We've got a lime tree here. And then this fig is not doing well. No matter what I do, it's unhappy. I'm kind of thinking it's gotta go. I don't think it's earning its keep. But we're gonna give it 1 more year because this is only its 3rd year. And I was told sometimes it takes 3 to 5 years before they actually start producing. So we're gonna give it a chance, but I'm not sure that I'm taking care of it right or that it's gonna work out for me because I can't figure out how to make it happy. We've got a little visitor right here. We've got lizards. Lizards are on patrol. I like that there's lizards. Lizards eat a lot of your bad bugs. So he's gonna get scared when I come over here. But we got strawberries. We got strawberries in the lower bed. And then I put in Blue Lakes green beans, pole beans up here. Now I started them too late, so they're not really giving me any green beans. Sorry, buddy. I don't think there's even any, yeah. There's flowers, but it's so hot. You know, most things won't produce when it gets over about 95 consistently, and we've had 2 or 3 weeks of over 100 degrees consistently. So it's not gonna produce, but I grew it mostly as a green backdrop because I knew I was planting them too late. So that's on me, but I still think it's pretty. And I like them. And they're nitrogen fixers, so it's improving the soil. But we'll see in the fall. We have such a long growing season here in Texas that in the fall I can start again. And it's actually just a few weeks I'll be starting my fall garden and we will be able to plant everything again. So we'll be able to plant, I actually could plant another round of tomatoes, green beans, everything. So we'll try again and we'll probably get some. Since I put in the mulch here, so this pine straw, the strawberries seem to be doing better and I've had less of them get rotten. So I've actually been able to harvest a few. So these are some petunias I overwintered. I just love the intense color. And I'm gonna keep trying to propagate them. We've got another, so this one in the middle, this is an avocado I started myself from just a seed. And he looks like he's doing pretty well, but I have learned that avocados you start from seed, they're not grafted, so they're not gonna give you the same kind of fruit that you were hoping to get. And they can take 10 years. I don't really wanna wait a decade. This one is the same thing. We've got strawberries below, green beans above. This is kind of a wildflower patch at the moment. We've got zinnias. I'm wondering if I put them in a little bit of shade, if you can see the color a little bit better. Not really. We've got zinnias, zinnias, zinnias. These are some volunteer tomatillos down here. We've got blackberries growing throughout here, which was an accident, but we don't have the energy to fight it right now. And then these ones with the thick blades, those are irises. So that's one of the many beds I need to get back under control. But I think we've been doing pretty well, all things considered, with how much we have tackled in the garden this year and tried to get back all the weeds out of there. This right here, this is my wildflowers. And the Rebecca is doing great, which you'll see when I go to the other side. But everything else in here, I really need to come in and get out. And the raspberries, I'm really happy that they're starting to grow up the frame. And I'm hoping I get some raspberries this year. We've got elderberry right here. So you have to have 2 types of elderberry so they can cross-pollinate. And this one are elderberry, and they came from the same nursery. And the nursery picked them out for me based off of my location, my climate, everything else. I didn't have to figure out which elderberries would be in bloom at the same time and be able to cross-pollinate so that I could get a harvest. So I am all about them taking the guesswork out for me. Let me show you, yeah. Oh, this is my sun glow nectarine, and I don't think it's gonna make it. So this guy, I have been watering and trying to take care of since February, and not one sign of growth ever. So I'm not sure if I did something wrong or if it was damaged in transit. I don't know, but it's not doing good. I don't think it's even alive. So we'll try again in this fall. We'll start with a local nursery instead of doing a bare root offline. Let me show you the peppers and then the tomatoes. So over here, we've got two kinds of oregano. This one is a hot and spicy, and it's a little bit more prostrate. You can see it just kind of creeps along the ground. This one's your traditional cooking oregano, and it's upright. You can see just yesterday, I cut a ton off the bush, and that I harvested a bunch to give to my friend. She has some chickens. They're super good for the chicken's immune system. Excuse me, and it's doing really well. This pepper, I have lost the tag for. I don't know what kind of pepper it is. I like to use the tomato cages on the peppers. It really helps keep them contained, and they're already done. I love anything that's already done and works well. We've got sweet potatoes. So sweet potatoes. I planted sweet potatoes in this bed 3 years ago, and I harvested every bit I could find. But every year since then, they keep popping up. And so what I do is I harvest the little starts from there, and I transplant them to where I want them to be. Now, I just barely got my sweet potato bed put together, which is late, but that's okay. So I haven't gotten to transplant them yet, but hopefully later this week. We've got, the sage is doing really well. Oh, I hope it's not dead. I think it is, because that's a spider web. We've got sage. The sage is doing really well, really good color. It smells really good. I've been cutting on it to harvest and to preserve. In this tomato cage, it's going to be very hard to see because he's just a little baby. But this is a jalapeno pepper. Now, he got broken off by a hailstorm, and that's why he's so much behind the other ones. This is a jalapeno. You can see it's pretty loaded. The jalapeno, falling over. The jalapeno is supposed to taste like a jalapeno, but with less heat. I found it to have so little heat that it was kind of boring. So I mix it. I mix it about 1 to 1, so 50-50 with jalapeno, and then it's a level that I can handle. We've got, this one is datil. Datil is a bell pepper that is supposed to be very sweet, and it's supposed to be orange walls. So we're waiting for him to get big. This is a Jimmy Nardello. So you can see long, thin peppers. I use these on my pizzas a lot. We've got, this is lemon thyme. So the lemon thyme, I don't want you in my stuff. The lemon thyme is these, I don't know if it's gonna show up, but these actually have more of a yellow undertone than a blue undertone. And the leaves are just a little bit bigger. Whereas, let me take one of these over here. This is a regular thyme. Can you see the regular thyme has skinnier leaves and it has a little bit of a blue undertone? So we've got some regular thyme over here, some lemon thyme right here, and then a bunch more peppers. Let's go see what they are. See, this is again that favorite combo with the creeping Jenny and the white chocolate crepe myrtle. Again, creeping Jenny, white chocolate crepe myrtle. This board is essential. This board shades my watering system. Without that board, it was overheating and it kept turning the watering system off. So that's good. That's a really low-tech solution that worked for me. Okay, what's this one? It's not chives. This is a red California Wonder. This one, do we see another red California Wonder? Although I think this one's a yellow because I'm pretty sure I don't remember if it was this one or this one I harvested on, but there was a yellow bell pepper. What is that one? Let's grab the tag. Ooh. Sweet bell, okay. So we've got a bunch of bell peppers. And you can see my brain just blinked. Sweet potato. The sweet potatoes are growing like crazy over here. This is a volunteer Thai basil. We're letting him grow, he's happy. And then over here, we've got tons and tons of tomatoes and marigolds and just everything. It's coming along really well. Let me back it up so you can see how big it is. Okay, look at how big it is, okay? I am 5'8". That bar, the crossbar, is a little over 8 feet, pretty close to 8 feet. And look how big everything has gotten. I mean, the marigolds alone, I mean, crying out loud. Everything is huge. Let me pull you in close. Okay, so we've got some volunteer zinnias in here. This is a zinnia plant. It hasn't flowered yet. You can see one over here has fallen out and it has flowered. Now these are my tomatillos. The tomatillos are really producing pretty well. You can see that they're getting a lot of bug damage though. This is probably my biggest bug magnet in the whole garden. There's these things called leaf-footed bugs, and they have been a disaster. I'm trying to see if I can see one for you. I have been coming out and I was hand picking them. I was bopping them into soapy water. I was trying to do everything I could do without actually using chemicals. And what I came up with was a vacuum. I came out with my shop vac and I could vacuum those suckers up and they couldn't fly away. And that actually worked pretty well. Yeah, I can't see any right now, but we're getting some pretty good tomatillos. They're all over. They're still producing pretty well. You can see this guy. This is a leaf hopper. See? He wants to go on the other side of the leaf from me. And the leaf hoppers just suck your plants dry. We've got a lot of tomatoes. They're gonna be kind of tricky to see because I come out every day and as soon as they get any color, I harvest them. So this one's not quite ready, but as soon as they get color, I come in and harvest them. I need to get in and clean out the middle. It's just a whole mess of weeds, but I just haven't been able to get there yet. This is an Amish paste. The Amish paste is impressive with how much meat per tomato, but they haven't been producing very well. I've only gotten 3 total tomatoes, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna try again in the fall and we'll see if they'll do better and if it's the heat that's the problem or what. Over here, we've got the different types of cherry tomatoes and oh my gosh, are they prolific. These are the yellow grape tomatoes and they are always producing. These are the cherry tomatoes. I came out and picked everything 2 days ago that had any color. Do you see how there's like cherry tomatoes all the way up? They are going nuts. They love it. Oh, there's a leaf-footed bug. See them? Right there. There's 3 of them right there. So these are butt heads. We don't like them. We got basil inside. There's so much basil that I've already made a ton of pesto and I don't need any more basil. I'm hoping, Gardener's Delight. Every time I'm out here, there's more to pick. I love these. These are a really large cherry tomato. They're delicious, they're prolific, and they're super reliable. This has earned a permanent spot in my garden. It's been in my garden for 3 years now, and each year it does amazing. The prettiest one in my garden right now is probably the Queen of the Night. So it's starting to turn, you can see the top is purple. I'll put in some footage so that you can see how beautiful it is once it fully ripens. Oh, hello. I just scared another lizard. This is black crim right here, and none of them are very ripe, but it's actually been producing pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, I need a stick. There will be spider webs. So I've been working really hard on these arches. I really want to see the stuff grow up and over the top. So we have cleaned out the entire pathway. We ripped out the fabric. We have spent hours coming in and getting the weeds out, and it's really, it's starting to pay off. I need to come back in and get it leveled and the pathway relayed, but I think it's doing well. We've got watermelon. So this is a sugar baby watermelon. It's growing pretty well. I think it might actually be getting too much shade for it. So I'm going to start some more on the big arch over there. This is an Armenian cucumber, which is the same kind of cucumber I showed you earlier, and it is prolific. It's a little higher than my waist right now. Can you see? I hope I have the angle right so you can see. But I'm excited for this guy to go. We're gonna just keep training him in. You can see they put out these side shoots. So there's gonna be, come on buddy. They put out these side shoots and they just keep growing for forever. So I just keep training them in so that hopefully this archway gets completely filled with amazing cucumbers. And then this one is a cantaloupe. So the cantaloupe is doing well. I'm pretty happy with it. And, oh, I forgot to tell you about this bed. This bed, we've come in and cleaned out most of the stuff. The only stuff that we've still left is either perennials or stuff that's going to seed. So this is calendula, and I've kept a few calendula so that I could harvest some seed. Like this one's getting ready to harvest. That's a seed for calendula. But I want to make sure that I have enough seed that it's ready. I'm ready to go in the fall. We've got gomphrena coming on, some celosia. I mean, look how velvety this is. It's so velvety. We've got some artichokes in here. And that's how the whole bed goes. We've got some calendula, artichokes, and some celosia. Right here we've got, I just took out all the garlic, and we've got some strawberry still growing. We're getting ready to put some more flowers in over here. You can see I'm starting to put my glads over here. And this grape, we had a big polar vortex this year. It got down to 7 degrees overnight one night, and you can see it killed this grape. So this grape's not coming back, but this grape is the same kind and it's coming back. So in the fall, I'll be propagating off of that one, and hopefully we'll be able to get our grapes going again and have the archway covered and beautiful again next year. This is some sweet potatoes that I've transplanted here. So I worked pretty hard on this bed this week, getting this bed completely cleared. It used to be chickpeas. Now the chickpeas grew well, and I would have had a good harvest if I had known when to harvest them. I was learning everything from reading online, trying to find some shade, and online it had told me that you want to let them dry on the bush, and so I did. But then when I went to harvest them, I found out I was raising caterpillars and not chickpeas. So I'll know for next time to pick them a lot earlier, and they'll do much better. I also spent quite a bit of time cleaning this pathway and moving it over. It used to be off center with the pathway across. So we moved it over about a foot. So now that it lines up with the other one, and that makes my heart happy. I love symmetry. It makes me very pleased when it's symmetric and simple. Now the pear tree, I feel kind of ungrateful complaining about it because we had some huge hailstorms and other people lost entire trees, and my tree is still here, but I lost every bit of fruit on this. So I don't have any fruit on the whole tree. And while I'm really happy the tree is still here, I'm still really disappointed that I'm not going to be getting any pears this year. So that's something I'm going to take some time to be I'm going to be a little bit grumpy about that for a bit, but I'm trying not to be ungrateful because I am grateful that my tree is still here. Okay, over here, This used to be potatoes, and after the potatoes, we planted some squash. Now this one is doing the happiest, and I'm pretty sure it's a pumpkin, but I didn't plant it. But I did compost pumpkins here. Last fall, I dug down over a foot and put all the smashed pumpkins from the neighborhood in a trench right here. So I'm pretty sure it's some kind of pumpkin, but look how happy it is. I mean, good gracious. It's just going like gangbusters. We've got a bunch of stuff we've started. I keep trying to start some crookneck, which is my favorite kind of squash, but it can't handle the heat. So I'm gonna have to start it inside and harden it off and transition it to outside. More weeds. This is pretty exciting for me. This is the first time I've been successful at getting my carrots to flower. And this is the seed. So you can see there's a ton of seed on there. And I should be able to save that, harvest that, and use that to start a bunch more in the fall. And look how beautiful the flowers are. The pollinators love these kind of flowers. These kind of flowers are called an umbellifer, which kind of sounds like an umbrella to me, and they're shaped kind of like an umbrella. We've got a gourd right here, so this is gonna be a bowl gourd, and I'm hoping that it grows up and big and takes over the whole archway. Grapes. I need to harvest the grapes. The grapes are ready. Look. Oh goodness. The grapes are ready. Oh, so ready they're falling off. Well, that one's not good. I don't want that one. Now, these ones are Mustang grapes, and they're very acidic, so I'm supposed to wear gloves to pick them. I'm hoping to get those picked actually just after this video. But look, the grapes are across the whole backyard. We have been waging war on the bamboo at the back fence. So a couple of weeks ago, you couldn't even see the blackberry. So the blackberry was so covered that you couldn't see it. But now you can see the blackberry. Now those big storms I talked to you guys about, we had, sorry about that. The camera got overheated and turned itself off. So the storms I was telling you about, we had some really big storms come through and it knocked the power out for over 24 hours. So the power company came, and you can see these are my power lines on my back property line, and they chopped down huge branches and just threw them in my yard. So I've got, that's about 8 feet from the fence, and it's all the way behind the shed, on the other side of the shed. We've got to find some time to deal with that. I don't know when we're gonna find time, but we're gonna try to find some time. We've got the Rebecca looking great. I've been harvesting this for bouquets too. It does really well. Huh, there's a little bug right there. I don't know what kind of bug that is. We don't want to stress them out too much. I think it might be a good kind of bug. But these Rebecca's are doing really well. You can see they're holding their own against the giant weed patch. It's going well. The raspberries, let me get you a close-up on some of the flowers. I think I might actually get fruit this year. So look. Dun 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 dun. These are flowers to be. And I'm hoping that means that this is a fall bearing variety and that in the fall, I will get a ton of berries. Let me think, is there anything I haven't showed you? I think that's everything. I've got a special surprise for Grandpa. So Grandpa, this was your request right after this. I appreciate you guys watching. It's fun to show you around the garden. Let me know down in the comments anything that you'd like to see more of or anything you want me to teach you about. Goodbye from the garden.